All right, 2 minutes. It is past 7 on the AM side. This beautiful Friday morning, and thank God it's Friday. All right, yes, and it is the seventh day in the month of February 2025. Slowly but surely, the year is running pretty fast, if you ask me. And I like to say that time waits for no one. January is come and gone. February is here and also counting. And before you know it, it's December 2025. At the end of the day, how intentional, how deliberate, in terms of actualizing all of a truckload of, New Year resolutions you actually for yourself January 1st this year. No pun intended. But every day presents an opportunity for you to try again and be more intentional. But thank God it is I think we can feel or feeling it, knowing that it would have to work on Saturday as usual around the high note, somewhat low, like too much. Monday, Tuesday, and even Thursday, if you like, where people are expected to be all serious. But that's not to say that we're not going to be talking serious business this morning. We're definitely going to be doing serious business, but with a little bit of entertainment, here and there, just to weather the storm, because indeed a lot is going on at the moment, and one would just, ask this question as to whether or not our priorities are misplaced. I mean, at a time when the economic hardship is biting so much on Nigerians, we're talking about creating new states. That seems to be on the front burner at the moment. And trust us to do absolute justice to that one, honestly. We'll bring all the national burning issues on board for us to dissect and have you, share your 2 cents. But anywho, for those who are wondering, this is the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. Just the early morning booster that you need to kickstart the day. My name is Omo Hefe Peace Osemer. I'd like to say good morning to you once again, and I'm hoping and also trusting that you all slept and woke up well. And if you know anyone who's still in bed at this point in time, come on, it's 5 minutes gone past 7 a.m. already. If you have a bucket of water close by, I think you should pour that on the person and get the person off the bed, because time now money, according to Mike Okri. I wouldn't want to sing this morning, so some people won't come and tell me that, hey, you're you have such a horrible voice. Come on. I actually know I'm a great singer, but I'm not gonna make a storm in a teacup over that, right? So from all indication, I will be riding solo on the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show this morning. I think I'll just try my best to take a leap from what my co-host Udwak Daniel, would do every morning, by greeting you in your dialect. The Hausa people would say inakwana, right? And then the Yorubas would say ekaro. Oh my God, you see it now? You see it? The good people of Kogi or the Galas would say olodudu, right? The good people of Akwa Ibom or Calabar would say amesiere. The Igbos would say otutuoma. And is it the Gbagis now? They'll say agife. And then the beautiful, proud and good people of Delta State would say, Isoko precisely would say, So I've been getting feedbacks, to be very honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, from my people in Abuja here, the good people of Isoko State. Isoko rather. No, I'm not trying to push for the creation of Isoko State now, but the good people of Isoko in Delta State right here in Abuja, they've been, sending messages across like, oh my, if we would love that thing you always do in the morning, greeting people in the in Isoko language. For them, they feel very proud. But that's just about it. And if you want your tribe to be carried along, maybe when you call in to share your 2 cents on the pages after saying good morning, you might just want to help me out, by telling me good morning in your local dialect. Honestly, I'll be glad to hear all of that. All right. Okay. We actually started off with the news already at 6:45 a.m. And this hour is where we get to take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And the truth is, it appears the national dailies are comparing notes or tabs, talking about what seems to be on the front burner That's the proposal for the creation of new states in Nigeria. Right, we're going to be taking a look at the front pages and also have you share your 2 cents on these headlines, right? And of course, we've got something for everyone, as a matter of fact. At the 8 o'clock hour, it'll be time for Sports on Eagles Wings, and you can trust the sports bishop, the sports minister, the sports prophet, the sport president, anything you want to call him, the sports comrade, right? That's Vicky Vic, to do absolute justice to that on the 8 o'clock hour, right? And at 9 a.m., it will be time for Eagles Outlook, where we talk politics and current affairs. And without mincing words, a number of you can already tell that the focus is going to be on the proposal, for the creation of new states in Nigeria. I mean, people have been sharing views and counter views, and the truth is, we wouldn't want you to be left out of the conversation. So we'll be glad to have you family members call in at that time as well to share your 2 cents on this proposal. Our priorities, are they misplaced? Is this even coming at the right time? Are we also mindful of the complexities that would come with this, proposal, if eventually it gets the warmest reception from Nigerians and then we adopt it? Will it even enhance national unity as opposed to what is obtainable at the moment? Well, these are the issues we're going to be dissecting at the 9 o'clock hour on Eagles Outlook. And of course, it does not end there. The Eagles Morning Outlook now has an extension into the Midday Extra, and we take it off by 10 a.m. on the TGIF, or you might want to call it the General Open Banter. But the General Open Banter on a Friday is better known as the TGIF, right? And of course, we've got something quite interesting to talk about at that hour. But I'm not going to let you in on what is going to be. I would like to keep you on the edges of your seats, so you stay glued on the dial up until that time. And of course, at the 11 o'clock hour, it will be time for Abuja Now, where we get to focus on the city of Abuja, looking at happenings around and within the nation's capital. Well, all of these, ladies and gentlemen, would be accompanied with the very best of music. And when it comes to good music, you can always count us first. Before I intimate you on 10 things that you need to know for today, I'd like you to hurry now to YouTube and Facebook as usual to see for yourself our state-of-the-art studios. I see a number of people already watching us online, but if you are new on here, I'd like you to know that we have a very strong presence across social media. Well, starting off with the YouTube and Facebook, where this program is being streamed at the moment. You can join us live and also leave a comment if you want, right? At Eagles FM Abuja on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, please do well to subscribe and also click on the notification bell such that whenever we come on here, you'll get, notified. And the truth is, I really we cannot, as a matter of fact, thank you all enough, because the numbers are actually increasing rapidly. Talking about the subscribers, thank you so much. If you're yet to subscribe, I encourage you to do that ASAP. You might also want to take a look at my beautiful face this morning. You're welcome. So hurry now to YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. I honestly will be glad to take your comments across these platforms, even as we take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. Without taking much of your time, let us quickly take a look at 10 things you need to know for today. And don't forget, today is Friday. Starting off with the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution announced on Thursday that it has received 31 proposals for the creation of new states across the 6 geopolitical zones. Now, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu read a letter from the committee during plenary outlining the conditions that must be met before any state creation request can be approved. All right. Now, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Disciplinary Committee, High Chief Tom Ikimi, says Senator Samuel Anyanwu, the party's embattled national secretary, and the former governor of Benue State are scheduled to appear before the committee. While in a statement on Thursday in Abuja, the committee also confirmed that it had relocated from the PDP National Secretariat in Wuse and now operates from Legacy House, a party-owned facility in Maitama, Abuja. The Nigeria Police Force, NPF, arrested 82 suspects in January 2025 for various cyber and financial crimes, including internet fraud, romance scams, identity theft, cryptocurrency fraud, and transnational fraud. Though its National Cybercrime Center, NCCC, the NPF successfully, or through its National Cybercrime Center, that's the NCCC, the NPF successfully apprehended 32 suspects across the country in a major crackdown on cyber-related offenses. Moving on, Comrade Festus Osifo, president of the Trade Union Congress Tuesday, has said the union will embark on strike if telecom tariff is raised by 50%. Osifo stated this during an interview on Channels Television's Politics Today on Thursday. Now, while admitting rising costs incurred by telcos, he said the root cause of the problem is slicing of foreign exchange. All right. Vice President Kashim Shettima has claimed that Nigeria is witnessing a surge in reverse medical tourism, with patients from the United States and other countries coming to the nation's hospitals to seek affordable and high-quality kidney transplant. Now, Shettima attributed the choice of Nigeria for treatment to affordability and high-quality expertise within the country's medical community. Well, a number of Nigerians would want to differ in that regard. But I mean, quite frankly, myself, Udwak, and Vicky, we had to chew on this, I think, on Wednesday morning, to look at the justification or otherwise of this statement. But there you have it again, coming from the vice president. But isn't that a step in the right direction, if really that is the reality? I'll leave it there and move on to other matters, where gunmen have invaded Ijegun Egba community in Oriade local government area of Lagos State, leaving 2 persons dead and several others injured. Now, the identities of the deceased were given as Gbenga Areagbo, a 40-year-old man who had been living with sickle cell, and Oladapo Olukoya. Well, may their souls rest in peace. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Thursday docked 9 Chinese citizens before a federal high court, Lagos, over alleged crimes of cybercrime, love scam, and security breaches. Meanwhile, Justice Aneke has ordered the remand of all the defendants at the Ikoyi prison pending their trial. The Nigerian Port Authority said it has secured necessary approvals for an upward review of its tariffs by 15%, stressing that it was last reviewed in 1993. It said the move was necessitated by the urgency of bringing Nigerian ports up to speed with its peers in terms of infrastructure and equipment to ensure competitiveness at the port. Well, it looks like 2025 is going to be a tariff-tagged year. Honestly, because the tariffs, the review, the increase, the hike coming from all sectors. All right. Are we really ready for this? Well, the lifeless body of the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, Justice Azuka, has been found along the second Niger Bridge. Azuka's lifeless body, said to be already decomposing, was found by a joint team of security operatives in the early hours of Thursday. Well, the last thing I'd like to intimate you on is the fact that President Bola Tinubu on Thursday announced leadership changes at several federal universities, including the University of Abuja, now known as Yakubu Gowon University. Now, the changes take effect immediately, and Bayo Onanuga, the president's spokesman, said in a statement on Thursday. Well, that's just going to be about it for 10 things that you need to know for today, Friday. Now, very quickly, let us take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, and I'll quickly hand down the numbers that you can call, to share your 2 cents on, the headlines making the rounds this morning. The numbers to call will be 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can also send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. So very quickly, let us start off with the Punch newspaper. I urge you to listen very attentively. Now, the big news story right there on the front page says, ex-National Assembly members, groups fault Reps 31 new states proposal. Senators insist focus should be on state viability Fenefere, Pandef call for true federalism. All right. I think some time ago we had a public affairs analyst, to tinker with main reasons why there seems to be a downward trend in terms of the practice of democracy in Nigeria and Africa by extension. And then he said something that there is no such thing as true federalism. Federalism is federalism. But you get details of that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And just above that one, right in front of the Punch banner or logo, fresh price hike looms as NPA plans 15% tariff increase. Details on page 23. Tinubu Mbeki go on advocate homegrown solutions to Africa's challenges. Details on page 19. And then PDP crisis is the kicker. Ikimi's panel receives 30 petitions, summons Ayanwu and Otom. Details on page 2. Moving on to page 6, Lagos installs speed limit monitors, imposes 50,000 naira fine. All right. Is that a step in the right direction, or that is somewhat, too strict as a, measure to address overspeeding on our roads? But this is actually coming from Lagos State, so it's not like a national, policy, as it were. Now, opposition plans unveiling of mega coalition in June. Unveiling of mega coalition in June. All right, our fingers are crossed, right? Details on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Now let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper, and it leads with uproar as IGP, PSC clash over retirement of police officers. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 riders underneath that headline. The first one says IGP has no powers to stop PSC. This is coming from a retired DIG. It is about self-preservation. Retired AIG talking there. And then the third writer says, I don't see this as IGP rejecting our decision. This statement is credited to the PSC PRO. And then when we talk about the PSC, that's the Police Service Commission. The last writer says, affected serving officers sue Police Service Commission. You get details of our story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. UK citizenship is the kicker. Badenoch didn't single out Nigeria. Foreign Ministry talking there. Details on page 8. And moving on to page 7, decomposing body of kidnapped Anambra lawmaker found on Second Niger Bridge. All right. Fallout of Trump's executive order in Nigeria. Programs stoppage, job losses trail USAID, that's the USAID funds freeze. All right. This has a couple of riders to it. USAID affiliated NGOs shutting down. Program disruptions from USAID fund freeze. It will have negative impact on Nigeria. Ezechi is the one talking there. And the last writer says, judge blocks Trump's executive order voiding birthright citizenship. You find details on page 5. Moving on to page 10, Sharia will ignite war in Southwest. Chief Imam of Yoruba land talking there. Details on page 10. And moving on to page 11, Kanu's release will bring peace. Reps panel talking there. And on page 20, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria cautions against further hike in electricity tariff. All right. And just above the Vanguard logo or the banner, it says a minister pushes for transition from 934 to 12-4 system of education. All right. Details on page 7. And then on page 9, Reps Constitution Review Panel proposes creation of 31 more states. On page 19, port charges to go up 15% as NPA pushes for efficiency. And the last one I will be taking from the front page, but you get the details on page 29. This is coming from the World of Sport. It says 2025 under 17 AFCON as the kicker. Nigeria's World Cup hopes dashed as CAF rolls out Golden Eaglet. or rules out golden eaglet. Well, trust Vicky Vic to do justice to that one, but you can just have a good read on page 29 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I'll leave it there for the Vanguard newspaper. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper is up next, and of course the big news story there says Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, won over proposed hike in electricity tariff. Two riders underneath it. The first one says a planned increase may lead to closure of more businesses. That's the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria talking there. And the second rider says ill-timed, deliberate act of economic oppression against Nigerians. Trade Union Congress talking there. Details on pages 2 and 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. NPA reviews a port tariff by 15%. Details on page 7. And then on page 3, Oshun is the kicker. Adeleke engages 10,000 youth for Imole, a youth corps. All right. And then Kogi Assembly bans foreigners direct access to cashew nut farmers. Okay. Details on page 4. Moving to page 3, Constitution Review is the kicker. Reps receive request for creation of 31 states to hold 12 regional national public hearings. Details on page 3. And then on page 2, as African leaders, we must abandon foreign dependency. This is coming from our president, Bola Tinubu, and a writer underneath it says, poor leadership, bane of African development. Mbeki talking there. You get details on page 2. Moving on to page 5, federal government proposes 12-year basic education model. Federal government proposes 12-year basic education model. Details on page 5. Still on page 5, Tinubu sacks Uni Abuja VC, barely 5 weeks in office. Acting UNN VC also removed in varsity's leadership overhaul. All right, and then on page 12, 13 patients from US came to Nigeria for kidney transplant. This statement is credited to the Vice President, Kashim Shettima. All right. I'll leave it there for the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Now let's take a look at the Nation. On the front page of the Nation newspaper, the big news story there says 32 proposals for new states before House of Reps panel. I mean, from 31 to 32 now. Right underneath it says North Central, 7, Northeast, 4, Northwest, 5, Southeast, 5, South, 4, and Southwest, 7. All right, you see details on the front page, but it continues on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And then federal government advocates shift in education system from 6-3-3-4 to 12-4-year model. All right, details on the front page. It continues on page 4. Right, federal government evacuates 7,790 refugees from Chad. Details on page 3. Uni Abuja, UNN gets new vice chancellors. Varsity's leadership rejigged. Details on page 28. And then asset panel report. Obaseki left 682 billion naira debt in Edo. You get details on page 26. And then on page 3, NBA panel reviews conflicting court judgment. All right. Okay. PDP disciplinary committee summons Anyanwu and Otum. Details on the front page. It continues on page 2. And then this one here on page 6 says a body of abducted Anambra lawmaker found. And on page 7, NPA raises tariffs on port services by 15%. All right, I'll leave it there this morning for the Nation newspaper. Let us quickly take a look at The Guardian. Right, on the front page, the big news story you'll find on page 6 says the lawmakers push for 31 new states amid 11.47 trillion naira debt by existing ones. Okay, I like to take that again. Lawmakers push for 31 new states amid 11.47 trillion naira debt by existing ones. You find details on page 6, where the photograph backing up that headline, it actually speaks over 1 million words. Well, not exactly backing up that headline though, but you might just want to grab a copy really to take a look at it. But grim realities in Southeast as gunmen dictate funeral terms. All right. Okay. I think that's this. This photograph is speaking to this particular headline, but you get details on pages 4 and 5. Fresh inflation concern as NPA raises port charges by 15%. Details on page 18. Tinubu, Gowon, Mohammed chart path to Africa's growth and prosperity. You find details on page 3. And then manufacturers warn federal government against new electricity tariff hike. Details on page 3 as well. And moving on to page 6, PDP crisis. Disciplinary committee invite Anyanwu Otom as a board of trustees directs NWC to swear in Ude Okoye. This one on page 29 says halt IOC's divestment till environmental remediation is done. Reps tell federal government. And then on page 7, Nigeria records world's highest road accidents, says Red Cross. Nigeria records world's highest road accidents, says Red Cross. Now, this is really not a good report, I mean, one would say, but you might want to question the integrity of this report as to how, they arrived at these figures, right? To say that Nigeria, is actually taking the first position in terms of, road accidents across the world. Well, can we blame this on the state of Nigerian roads, or it is the fault of the drivers, or maybe it's a case of overspeeding? Whatever it is, you'll have a good read on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then federal government swaps 6334 education system with 12-4 model, scraps JSS and SSS. Okay, details on page 7. Hours after matriculation, Abuja Varsity VC, governing council sacked. Details on page 30. And then on page 3, additional at 65, Tinubu Sanwo-Olu, Abiodun Otedola, brand AFDB president, Nigeria's best export. Okay, details on page 3. I'll leave it there for the Guardian newspaper. And the last one here would be the Daily Trust. The big news story there says how Army General was abducted in Katsina. 2 riders underneath it, man, 2 wives, children among victims. And the second one says over 100 gunmen involved in attack. Details on the front page, it continues on page 4. 38 days after, Tinubu sacks Uni Abuja Vice Chancellor. Details on page 3. PDP disciplinary committee summons Anyanwu and Otom. Details on page 10. And then Senate probes Niger leaders' accusation against Nigeria. Details on page 5. Barao disburses 2.7 billion naira loan for new agri scheme. You find that one on page 30. And then Trump doubles down on Gaza Strip acquisition. You find that one on page 24. Fire destroys 21 food storage facilities in Kano. Kills 78 livestock. Details on page 23. And then on page 5, Africa cannot depend on foreign blueprint for development. Now that statement is credited to President Bola Tinubu. I'll leave it there this morning for the Daily Trust, and that's just going to be about the size of the headlines I will be taking across Nigerian newspapers for today. We just go pay this bill, and when we come back, you definitely would have the opportunity to call in to share your 2 cents on these blazing headlines making the rounds this morning. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is the pages, and at this juncture, our studio lines are open for you to call in to share your 2 cents as to what you make of the blazing headlines, for today. And as always, we urge you to stay civil, avoid the use of vulgar language, put your emotions in check or keep them in check. And do want to turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear ourselves clearly. But just to, hand down the numbers again for those who are just joining us, the numbers are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Right. Hello and good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Omoife.
Good morning, Abdul. Good to have you.
You did this morning.
You did very well, thank you.
Omoife, I want to contribute.
Where are you calling from, Abdul?
Abdul calling from Suleja, Niger State.
All right, please go ahead.
I want to contribute on this, the issue of road accidents in Nigeria.
Right.
The report from the Red Cross. You see, as you can see in Nigeria, most of our roads are very bad. So if they say Nigeria is number 1 in road accident in the whole world, I will not doubt it to Omoife. So this is to call on the federal government to make sure that all our roads are okay.
Okay.
On tariff, Omoife.
Yes.
I don't know why the government, the little thing with the common people will achieve, that's what they will be increasing. Now they are talking of electricity, how to increase the tariff. We are still on telecommunication, how to increase the tariff, where we, the common people, are enjoying it from. Why can't they subsidize these things for us so that we also, the common people, will enjoy it? I want to use this opportunity to thank all the callers and listeners of this radio station.
Right.
This radio station is really helping us to say our mind out to the federal government. If they want to hear, they should hear. If they don't want to hear, they should not hear. But we will continue saying it. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. God bless Eagle FM.
Thank you very much, Abdul. And we pray that they listen indeed. Beyond listening, we also pray and hope that they go back to the drawing board to tinker with your, criticisms, your contributions on a daily basis, right? Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, my name is GB, calling from Abu.
All right, good to have you, GB. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the Minister of Education told me moving from 633, 633 basic to 66. The 633 means that compulsorily somebody must obtain DSS 3 as basic education. And moving it to 666, meaning that secondary school education, which is DSS 3 as basic education. I think that would be good for us. Because I wonder what somebody who gets DSS 3 will do this for. And that's why today, that many people who drop out of DSS 3, they prefer what they not. Them putting barrel, and there. But if you have SS3 as a basic education compulsory for every citizen, from there, that your level of enlightenment education has really improved. You can really decide and do better in life. So as a support of this, if you adjust that, so that every state, every child in Nigeria must not get less than SS3 education at the basic for every citizen. It will really help us a lot. Then the issue of creating more states, where some states, some regions have been clamoring for states, like the Southeast, they are like others as not less than 6 states, they have 5. I think they can be considered. The other region asking for 5, 10, this and this, I think just wish thinkers. So to me, we need to strengthen our federalism than creating more states.
All right.
Let the resources among the states. Let the state be more independent than creating more states.
Okay.
Local government, let be more independent, manage their resources and contribute to the center. That is correct. Sorry to create more things. Thank you very
All
much.
right, GB, thank you so much for calling. All right. Hello and good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is this Dr. Prince Ike?
Yes, Auntie, God bless you. Happy New Week and happy what you call weekend.
Right. Where are you calling from this morning? Thank you.
I'm calling from Karim as usual.
All right. Please go ahead.
Yes, it's a welcome development so far that more creation of things is being what required. You know, if creation of states is going to be done, it's a welcome development to balance the equation. I mean, the economic equation, political equation, and social equation. Because I don't see the reason why some states, you know, some zones will have a higher creation in place, while some will be what to dwindle up and down. You know, let us say, you know, bring people together, you know, make sure that things that are being done to A is being done to B, so that we are going to, you know, have what we call balance of state creation, so that there must be what we call glorious and also contaminous equitability of development. The injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. That's aside. Now, creation, changing from territory system, you know, to 2F, you know, whole system of education. What is going on? Can't we use that methodology to, you know, activate and also consolidate our educational system? Are you getting me? If things are being done well, many of us who were able to attend secondary schools in the time of 5 years, you know, system is not okay. By then, Nigerian people, government employ people, teachers or lecturers or tutors from abroad, a place called Ghana, India. Education was probably okay. I get it, man. At least I'm not in any way against government policy, but let our educational system be consolidated adequately so that it will boost the morale of the students and also the teachers and the members of the society, so that Nigerian education system goes to the superb. After all, if you go to USA, go to Britain, it is people from Nigeria are waxing stronger and stronger in terms of economy, in terms of education, in terms of computer. Hi, Nigeria, who have done this into us, our great country.
All right.
A great country for that magnitude. Giant of Africa, the most populous black nation in the world, the most crude oil producing nation in the world, has become a beggar. May God give us. Thank you. Have a better day.
Thank you.
Odak.
Yes.
Thank you. God bless you, Mom.
Thank you very much, Daddy. Thank you, Dr. Prince Ike from Old Carimo. When you say we are not beggars, what exactly are we begging for? And well, coming from the the education ministry, they are saying that it is only prudent to transition from the 9-3-4 to the 12-4 system of education, and by so doing, Nigeria will align with global standards in preparing students for better tertiary education. All right. Well, this is definitely going to be greeted with views and counter views, and we are open to all of these disparity or views and counter views as far as we're concerned. All right. The numbers to call are still 09087668888 or 09073530044. A voice note or a message can be sent to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. And don't forget that you can join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. A number of you already dropped messages, and I definitely can't wait to acknowledge your thought. But let's continue with the voice calls. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Omoze.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Suleiman Abdulani from National Assembly Quarters.
Is this the original Dan Fulani man?
The original Fulani man, not photocopy.
All right.
Well,
all right. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, good morning. Why is Amata Yudi?
Well, Yudi will be here later today.
By 9.
By 12.
problem, no problem.
Yes.
I wish him all the best.
Thank you.
Let me just make it briefly.
Right.
Let me start with the issue of road accident. You know, our road is too bad. But truly, if they can come with the policy of this toll gate, believe you me, the accident is going to be reduced very well. We ever know the road from Kesi to Benue State some years back and go there now and see the road is double lane now. Where you've been driving like 7 hours, 8 hours, now you will drive in less than 3-4 hours. You know, even with the motorists, we can pay the money. If they can do it, then we will pay. Believe you me, it will not be a problem. You know, in this government now, don't expect that you have anything freely. Nothing that you will have from them freely. It will be very hard, but we will appreciate them if they can do the way they did in this Narawa State and Benue State. Wallahi is a very welcome people. In my own opinion, I know some people are not against it. But in my own opinion, it's a very welcome development. No matter how much we are going to pay, it's not going to be a problem. Maybe we can enjoy the road. Then secondly, the issue of this creation of new state. In my own opinion, I'm not thinking that creating a new state is our problem now in this country.
Right.
If we don't have any problem with new state now, if this state that we have, I think it is okay. How can we have almost 36 states, 67 states now in the country, and how we are battling with this 36 that we have, including Abuja, is going to be like a 68 state that we have in the country now. So truly, in my own, I'm not seeing it as it's going to be improve our economy in any way. So as for me, I'm not in support of creating it. Even if one state now, I'm not in support. In my own opinion, I'm talking that of my own opinion.
All right.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, original Fulani man. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can take this one. Hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Omoife.
Good morning, Moses.
Moses here from Tuleja. I've been waiting on this call for long.
Apologies, it's the traffic, right? I mean, we know you to be the first or the second caller. You try to maintain that standard.
Good work again.
Thank you very much. Yes, Udwak is fine. He'll be here by 12 noon.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Kidnapping scenario within Ochadamo and Ojule. In fact, which the deputy governor says that he demands more military help. Since that is always an occurrence, normal occurrences in that very house. And I believe that in Kogi State link to the east, there are a lot of motorists that pass that area. So that place should be a target for the security men to take over, especially empower the youth.
Right.
Because those youth there, they are very active. Empower them. So the government should pick it as a point, because the number of kidnapping in that area is too alarming. It's too alarming. And I believe that the security, God will empower them to do more.
Right.
And another thing again is this issue of creating more states. Yes. Creating more states brings development.
Okay.
It reduces this segregation and kind of overriding some certain minority tribes. So it's a welcome idea. It's a welcome idea. More creation of states is a big thing, and it's a good development to the entire country of Nigeria.
Okay, so Moses, you think this proposal is coming from a place of concerns regarding marginalization in the country?
Yes, marginalization.
Okay, so what are the chances that if we create more states, we still won't have concerns, from a state saying, oh, they are marginalized, or a region saying they are marginalized, and what have you? Are we also mindful of the complexities that would come from creating more states in the country?
The issue, whether you create or you didn't create, the issue is bad governance. When you look at the bad governance, which the factors start from the corruption, that is where we have our challenge.
All right.
So if we should create more states, it opens doors to development.
All right.
And to also foreign investment in these very states that we created.
All right.
So the support of more states to be created, added more. Look at the American. How many states do they have in America? Yes. And Nigeria is the biggest giant in Africa. So this issue of segregation
or over this, I think it will limit, even though it will not eradicate, it will limit.
All right.
So I believe that the creation of more states will bring development, because every state will like to develop its own environment.
Okay.
And the allocation of money will create development, roads, industries, and many other things.
All right.
So creation of more states, but I also create opportunity for employment under politicians, for people to have employment in the secretariat, because we have a lot of graduates in our society. It creates employment.
All right.
So we look at the advantage and also at the disadvantage, then we begin to work on those things. But the issue is there should be a proper screening on those proposals before it will be approved.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Moses. Well, we just have to pause the voice calls for now and head on to. I think I'd like to start off with the comments that we have on the Facebook, page. Uchenna Aya says, good morning. My name is Uchenna from Apo Womba district. So with all the problems in Nigeria, it is state creation that is the priority of our leaders. It is unfortunate that the government are not ready to solve Nigerian, problems, right? And then Deborah Richard Adedayo says, I always talk Nigeria don't enter one chance. We are waiting for United States of Nigeria very soon. Okay. Okonkwo Uche says, any existing state that does not presently add value to the economy should not ask for additional state at the expense of other state maintenance. And then, he went for that to say, any existing state that does not, all right. Okay. Okonkwo, thank you so much for that message, right? Let's now move on to the WhatsApp, portal. I think I'll be starting off with the voice notes. All right. We have this one from Daniel, if I'm not mistaken.
Good morning, Omoife. My name is
Good
Daniel
morning.
from Kurudu, Bole, to Mayala, people from Cross River State. Honestly, this is a creation of most states. I think to me, because there are some regions, there are some places that need government presence. Using my place as an example, Yala is under Cross River North, and we have 5 local governments that made up Cross River North: Yala, Ogoja, Ebikwara, Obaliko, and Obudu. In each of these 5 local governments, I can tell you authoritatively that there is no government present. The journey from Yala or any of those 5 local governments to the headquarters, which is Calabar, is between 4 to 5 hours, depending on your location. So this is a welcome development. Or we have representative of government from the members of Rep and Senate, and even down to the State House of Assembly. And commissioners are from all of these local governments. But I can tell you that there is no government present. There is no TV station in the whole of Cross River. No, there is no radio station. There is dilapidated hospitals, no good schools. So I think it's a welcome development. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
Okay. To say there are no radio stations in the whole of Calabar, that's quite a revelation or an expose, one would say. But Daniel, it's your region or your state, so you're better abreast with what is obtainable there. But thank you for that message.
Good morning, Omoyofe. My name is Salasi, sending this voice note from Turkey.
Right.
Sharia law will ignite war in Southwest. Imam, tell, yes, the Southwest people are intelligent. They won't allow what is happening in the North to happen in their place. People coming for treatment out from abroad, that is accredited to Vice President. So I'm urging the Vice President, they should remain in Nigeria and treat themselves. They shouldn't be going to France, Germany, America, and other places, United Kingdom, to treat themselves. They should remain in Nigeria. And from now onward, none of our politicians, the people from the government, the elite should remain here. The people in government, the politicians should remain here and train themselves. Electricity tariff, Kosito should just keep quiet, because since they are coming as the Trade Union Congress and the Labour Congress, nothing, they have added nothing to Nigeria. They increase fuel, they increase electricity tariff, now they're talking of coal tariff. So they shouldn't tell us all these things. We don't want to hear anything from these people. Whatever that comes in this government goes, because we don't have people to talk for Nigeria. The composed body of a member House of Reps discover the same thing. Do you know even a retired general was kidnapped in Katsina? That is the issue of insecurity. I will conclude by saying, today victims are yesterday survivor, tomorrow victims are today survivor. It could be anyone out there listening to me. Government must do the needful when it comes to insecurity. Thank you.
Absolutely. The needful must be done. Thank you, Salasi, for that message.
Good morning, Omoife.
Good morning.
My name is Polycat, calling from Zuba. Please, I want to dwell on the issue of this road issue. The road in Nigeria, the worst accident victims. Yes, I think it's not far from the truth, because just last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I applied Lapai Agai Road going to Peter. In fact, I saw not less than nine vehicles falling in different locations, from just that Lapai to Agai, and the road is in a very terrible shape. In fact, I've not applied that road for the past 10 years. The last time I applied that road, I knew the road was bad, but not this bad. In fact, you cannot drive from here to Bida on that road easily. I've never seen any road like that in Nigeria. So I don't think the analysis is bad. I think that analysis is correct if we have to check it properly. So the federal government has to do, that is, even this road budgeting, if they have to increase on this road budgeting and emphasize more on this road, the road issue, let us be worrying on one particular thing. Thank you, Omofe.
Thank you very much, Polycarp. And we take on the messages now. Samia from Kuje says, good morning to you, my sister Omoife. Good morning to you. Welcome to another new day. Thank you. Today, I don't have much to say about the happenings in this country, because the more we talk, the more our political leaders and their hypocritical and sycophantic praise singers are doing the worst things with impunity. These are my sincere prayers for the country. Oh God Almighty, deliver us from our self-inflicted hardships and pains in this country. Father Lord, save us from these self-centered individuals at the helm of affairs of this country. Oh God, show us mercy and make a way for us and give sincere and right-thinking leaders and followers in this country. Faithful Father in heaven, help us get it right in this country in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Have a good and wonderful Friday, Omoife. Thank you, Samuel from Kuje. You know, I'd always say that you can even double as a pastor, okay? Austin from Adona, Sarawak State says that idea of creating more states to the existing ones should be discarded. The already existing ones, how are they faring? Creating more state would amount to more money pumped into governance in this bad economy we already have. Many of the already existing states are not viable. They can't cater for themselves without allocation from the government. Former President Bubu, who is Bubu by the way, claimed that under him as president of Nigeria had a robust economy. Can Buhari remember how much Nigerians were paying for goods and services before he assumed office, and how much Nigerians were paying before he left office? But why are we like this in Nigeria? Why are we not truthful to ourselves? Has Buhari forgotten the trillions of naira he printed without authority to do so economically that snowballed to the state of inflation the economy was thrown to? Yes, Buhari should praise himself. This reminds me of a saying that the lizard fall from up and no one praise him. He decides to praise himself. Well done, former President Bubu. Sanu, what was this one again? Aisha, I don't know what that means, but Mano Austin from Adona, Sarawak State there. Thank you for that message. Yusuf from Wusetu says, good morning, Omoife. Good morning to you, sir. President Bola Tinubu and Ramaphosa have urged African leaders to break free from their dependence on foreign plans and seek homegrown solutions to African problems. To me, this can only happen if African leaders, can stop receiving loans, grants, or interventions from the West. There is no free lunch anywhere, not even in Freetown. You have to accept unfavorable conditions attached or lose your sovereignty or risk insurgency. If a country cannot function without being subsidized and protected by another country, that country should not exist. This is President Trump's philosophy as in Greenland and Canada. So African leaders should get serious in harnessing resources internally to develop Africa instead of promoting poverty as they are presently doing. All right, Yusuf from Wusetu, thanks for that message. And then Turkin Bihundu says, good morning, Ife. I'm in Nasarawa State. The killing of Anambra State lawmaker Azuka by criminals is painful. Governor Soludo have to wake up and do his job as regards security. Under his watch, criminals are on rampage, kidnappers, unknown ritualists, disappearing of Anambra State residents, and after some time, dead bodies are recovered. Ife, why do we hate each other so much in Nigeria? I'm begging security agents not to leave any stone unturned to bring these wicked criminals to justice. Lawmakers advocating for creation of new states are being selfish and unrealistic about the demand. Most states currently can't survive on their own except waiting for oil money to be shared every month, which most governors don't use the money collected to better their state. Okay. They share some of these monies to party faithfuls. Turkin Bihundu there, thanks. Okay, we have this one. Abbas reporting from Duse says, good morning, Omoife. Baraka de Jumaat to our Muslim family, indeed. On state creation, what is the essence of creating more states whereby current existing ones are struggling to provide the dividends of democracy to the people? creation of state is not our problem, unless we just want to create it for political balance of regions who are crying of marginalization. If we have genuinely local government autonomy, it will take care of everything the people need at the grassroots level of governance. What we need now is state governors working hard to ensure the people feel the impact of grassroots governance. Our governors don't understand how to deliver good governance to the people, and that's why some states are lagging behind. Make no mistakes, by the time you create states today, it will be a continuous process and more agitation for more and more states. Abbas reporting from Dutse. Thanks for that message. And Comrade Ulabasi from Buhari, Abuja says, good morning, Omoife. Good morning to you. Well, it sounds good to hear, good to the ear to actually get it received that foreigners from different countries have been falling over themselves to come down to Nigeria for medical tourism, especially in the area of kidney transplant. But the masses would like to know which of the public health institutions, popularly known as General Hospital, is that center of excellence where this magical medical treatment is taking place. We should not be confused to know the difference between private hospitals and general ones. From the ongoing, it is very clear that those that are said to have been coming in for treatment, if at all, have been doing that in the private hospitals because there are no modern equipment in public health institutions to handle such cases. May God Almighty save us from ourselves. Amen. Comrade Ulobasi from Buhari, thank you so much for that message. Well, we just hope that the Vice President will take note of this, and next time he's coming to, to praise our Nigerian hospitals, he will be very specific as to whether or not the foreigners are actually flooding our public hospitals, aka general hospitals, or the private ones. Okay, Daniel says there is no TV or radio station in Cross River North, not in Cross River State. All right, thank you very much for that clarification, because I was really wowed when you said that. I probably didn't hear you well. Thank you so much. All right, I think I'll just leave it here now because of time. Well, just like I said before, the proposal for the creation of new states would be the focus at the 9 o'clock hour this morning. Let us tinker with this. Let us take a look at, the drawbacks and assess or even analyze, and if possible, project whether it will get the warmest reception from Nigerians. And the truth is, if you have reservations, with regards to this proposal, I think it would be best to call in at that time to share your 2 cents extensively. Yes, extensively. And we're going to be having this discussion with a public affairs analyst, Dr. Ibrahim Shatambaya, who will be joining us live all the way from Sokoto State this morning. Do want to join us at that time. I'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed on the pages this morning were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. It is your radio experience you can count on. Those watching on Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much. But please do well to subscribe before you head out. All right? My name is Omoife Peace Osemere, and Vicky Vic is right here in the studios already, looking all cute and handsome. But I'm just wondering why you're not wearing a jersey this morning. But your outfit is really, really... You're looking cute. You're looking cute. You have a party to attend after the show? All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay on this dial. There is a lot more to come on here.